This is Nicosia. Nicosia is a very funny city because it is one city that is divided into two. The other part on the southern side is Greek Cyprus, and the northern part is North Turkish Cyprus. So the two cities is actually one city that is divided, and crossing the border on foot. There's no need to drive or get through. You can walk through the borders, although of course you go through the documentation and the verification of passports and so on. You still just walk from one side of the city to the other into the Turkish side from the northern from the southern side. I had just arrived a few days earlier and crossed over to the northern side where I spent a few days. So on this day, I was coming back on my way to catch my plane to London, Gatwick. However, it so happened that the taxi I had booked turned me down, and they said I could still find another taxi because they were too busy. I was a bit disappointed, but the cab driver anyway advised me to wait at a point about a few more meters away. If I walked along that street from where she had dropped me, where she had promised to pick me up from, I would just walk a few meters, turn right, and walk along the street until I get to a point where I would find quite a few taxis there to go to Larnaca. It's so strange when you are in a strange city and you don't know things, but at least if you can read and talk to people, you find your way. However, in Nicosia, some people cannot speak English. You just have to find some that can speak English. And it so happened that it was very hot. It's naturally hot in Cyprus, and it's so hot that even my feet were hurting. I was dying to take off my shoes. It was so hot, I had to find some slippers. I got some for about €8 because I was reserving my €60 for a taxi to take me to Lanarca. So for this extra €10 I used for the slippers. And I had a bottle of water which I kept sipping around and doing some window shopping as I just pushed the time, because I knew I had a bit of time to spend waiting for or trying to get a taxi back to Larnaca. My flight was to be at about 8. I had to be in Larnaca by about 6, and it was around 4. So I was conscious about time, but I also wanted to see a bit of Nicosia, which had changed a bit, because on my arrival, I had arrived at night and I just walked through the border, and where I met my son, and we just walked over to the other side. I did not see much at night. So on my way back, when I crossed back, I had the opportunity to see the city very well. And this was my second time in Cyprus, in particular Nicosia. And on this the southern side, I was surprised there were so many changes in the buildings. There was so much development that had been done within a very short time. It was so strange. However, I still had a problem to find the taxi. But on arrival at the point where I found a few people, I asked, and they advised me that there's no point for you waiting or trying to get a taxi. The taxis come and go, but you can still get on the bus. I said, I was worried. I didn't know if that bus goes straight to the Larnaca airport. He said, yes, the bus goes to Lanarca. You don't need to worry, because those people said they lived in Lanarca. So I felt a bit safe, and they waited for the bus, which did not take long, and arrived, and they realized that I was about to go, and for a cheaper ride, I was going to save the little 60 euros that I was trying to preserve. Within a very short time, we were all on the bus on the way to Larnaca. I will show you another video about Larnaca and another one about Lefkosa, where I spent most of the time going to the University of Near East. Thank you for watching. This is Baba Cobby.